It's time for some honest campaigning. It would have sounded like this. I promise to rarely give press conferences. Promise to increase inflation. I promise to make us reliant on foreign oil. I promise to get us out of Afghanistan in an embarrassing way while leaving behind all of our defensive weapons in the lives of 13 soldiers. I promise to refer to everyone who voted for Trump as domestic terrorists. I promise to weaponize the DOJ against my political opponents, parents that speak out at school meetings, and Christians. I promise to allow men into women's sports to compete and win. I promise to get us involved in war between Ukraine and Russia. I promise to send billions of your tax dollars to Ukraine and at the same time unite Russia and China against us. I promise to blow up the Russia pipeline that is supposed to provide Europe with needed oil, and I will do it like a terrorist would. I promise to allow a false flag protest at the Capitol and will declare an insurrection. I promise to use this against my political opponents. I promise to use the FBI as my own police force and send them out to arrest those that do not support me. I promise to bail out billion-dollar campaign donors when their banks go belly up. I promise to use your tax dollars to do it. I promise to suppress my sons and my corruption prior to entering office. I promise to control the press, Twitter, and other social media so that you can only see what I want you to see. I promise to use companies to enforce an unconstitutional vaccine mandate. If you refuse, you will lose your job, source of income, ability to travel freely, and access to health services. Promise to not point out that the vaccine ends up causing more harm than good. I promise to open the southern border and allow millions of undocumented foreigners to flow into this country. I promise to put them on jets and drop them in your states at night while you sleep. I promise to give these people thousands of your tax dollars while ignoring the current American homeless. I promise to paint any American pride as being racist. I promise to ignore anti-fascist and instead declare a white supremacist as the #1 threat. I promise to have no facts to back these claims. I promise to put people in charge of this country based upon their sexual orientation and not their level of skill. I promise to put a gay man in charge of transportation and then watch it fall apart. I promise to put a transgender man in charge of health and watch him picture children on gender change. I promise to support homosexual teachers that want to teach elementary school children about sex. I promise to build no wall protecting this country, just the one protecting my vacation home. I promise to embarrass the country overseas in every time that I talk. I promise to make the decisions in my cabinet except for the type of ice cream that is stored in the fridge. I promise to declare that there is no federal solution for all but the responsibility onto the states. I promise that all my Democrats will go along with all of this insanity. I promise they will put party over love of country. I promise to continue to use machines to count votes even though they have been proven inaccurate and inefficient. I promise to produce enough ballots to an election, even if that means shutting down the counting on election day. I promise to drain the country's emergency oil reserve to the lowest point in history. I promise to sell millions of it to China through a company connected to my son. I promise to deplete your military to an unsafe level. I promise to replace soldiers with those focused on equity and gender. I promise to kick out your best and brightest when they refuse to take the infested vaccine. I promise to come for your guns, and I promise to do all of this in my first two years in office. You're joke people. This is not hyperbole. My word is a Biden, because I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I'm like chocolate chip ice cream.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.